The Super Bowl MVP just won the Super Bowl. Where do they want to go next? Walt Disney World. But you've been there, you've done that, and now you're wondering what's next for you. Well, I put together a video on vacations that are inspired by Walt Disney World that you can take with your family. And depending on what your favorite aspect of Walt Disney World was, I'll have recommendations on where your next trip should be. I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world. I love Walt Disney World. I definitely based my business on Walt Disney World, but one of the things I love most about it is that it inspires me to go other places. Visiting the World Showcase, I always want to go visit those countries. Getting into any of the other areas of the park, they're usually inspired by a different location or a story that was inspired by a location, and it makes me want to go to those places. That's why I named my company Showcase the World. It's a play on World Showcase from Disney, but it also encourages people to then see the rest of the world, to not just stick in the theme park, but see what's out there and experience those new cultures and share experiences. I just had experience like 6 times, but experiencing those cultures, sharing experiences together as a family all throughout the world is priceless. So you've been to Walt Disney World. Where do you go next? Well, if Magic Kingdom is your favorite park and you love Adventureland, you love pirates, check out the Caribbean. Check out the Pirate Museum in Nassau. All of these places that the pirates lived and plundered. There's some really, really great fun history there. There's also some fun touristy tchotchke type things that you can do, like go on pirate cruises, and there's a pirate festival in the U.S. Virgin Islands that you might love, and then there's tons of pirate history in Port Royal, Jamaica. So enjoy some pirate adventures, but also enjoy some relaxing beach time for mom. More of a Fantasyland fan? Then head to Germany. The Romantic Road is an incredible adventure. You can visit Neuschwanstein Castle, which I can never say right, so please forgive me, but it inspired Cinderella's castle. And there's all these little medieval towns along the way that look like they came out of a storybook. So if you like Snow White and Rapunzel and all of those fairy tales that came from that Germanic Bavarian area, then the Romantic Road is going to be a ton of fun for you and your family. Another place to go if you loved Fantasyland is Copenhagen. Tivoli Gardens was one of the amusement parks that inspired Walt Disney World to create the first theme park out in California. But it also was the home to Hans Christian Andersen, who wrote The Little Mermaid and Frozen. So there's a lot of, it's very fairy tale in Copenhagen. If you head up to Norway, you get some of that Nordic tradition that's popular in Frozen. If you love Liberty Square, stay a little bit closer to home. Check out Washington, D.C., visit Colonial Williamsburg, and learn some U.S. history. More history, if you love Frontierland, Adventures by Disney has great itineraries in Montana or Wyoming. Another great thing that I love, so one of the things I love about Disney is their attention to detail. And as you are traveling from Peter Pan's flight in Fantasyland all the way to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in Frontierland, it's basically a westward history experience of our national history. So you go to Boston, you go to New York, you end up in St. Louis, and that's all in the architecture and some of the details there. You kind of move down the mighty Mississippi. So a great thing to do if you love Frontierland is to do a Mississippi River cruise. Those are really, really fun. There's not a ton that are available for families. There are a few. If you are traveling just adults, then the American Queen Steamboat Company is amazing. American Cruise Line is also great, but you can do shorter shorter stays on a Mississippi steamboat. You can just do a night and stay in Memphis, or one of those really fun areas. Mud Island off of Memphis was one of my favorite things as a kid. If you love Epcot, obviously, there's so many places you can see. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight some Adventures by Disney itineraries that tie in a little bit to Epcot. So Norway, they do have an adventure to Norway where you are able to experience the inspiration for the Kingdom of Arendelle, and it is one of the few Adventures by Disney experiences where you get to interact with characters. They do have the Frozen characters there. It's an 8-day, 7-night itinerary. It takes you to Bergen. It takes you through ice-capped mountains, fjords, and stave churches that shape the landscape and architecture depicted in the film. Another great one is Beauty and the Beast river cruise. It is a Rhine river cruise, and it goes to France, Switzerland, and Germany, but it does have a Beauty and the Beast kind of, you get to see all these great places, but your kids are engaged because it's about their favorite movie. That's my favorite movie too, so I guess it's not really just for kids. But you hike in the Black Forest, you explore castles, and you visit the picturesque town that inspired Beauty and the Beast. I'm not going to pronounce it because my French is terrible. And you enjoy culinary experience based on the film on the ship, and there's sing-alongs and movie nights and really fun things there. If you like bellying up to the Rose and Crown in the UK, check out Scotland. They have an itinerary. It's a 9-day, 8-night itinerary that takes you to the Isle of Lewis, whose people and ancient stories inspired the film Brave. So you can step into the mysterious Calendish standing stones, which are depicted in the film. There's an archery lesson because you can't have a Brave themed itinerary and not an archery lesson. And you can actually see one of the 200-year-old chessmen of Lewis's set that is depicted in one of the scenes there. Another place that I would love to travel after visiting it in Walt Disney World, so it really wasn't on my list until I did a backstage tour and got to go behind the scenes of the Moroccan pavilion, that I now really want to go to Morocco. So all of those countries inspire me to want to go see them in real life, and that's definitely a goal on my list and could be really, really fun for you too if one of those places really stood out to you. If you were more of a fan of Hollywood studios, then let's talk about Tunisia. Tunisia had a ton of Star Wars filming locations. Ireland has a ton of Star Wars filming locations, and you can have kind of that out-of-world experience there. If you love Hollywood studios for its whole old Hollywood and movies, then what about a trip to Hollywood? Disney Adventures by Disney does have a really, really great Backstage Magic. It's what it's called, Backstage Magic itinerary that you can go behind the scenes of Disney Studios, Disney Imagineering, and Jim Henson Studios. You also get to go behind the scenes of Disneyland. So really fun getting into Hollywood and getting into Disneyland. That is a great transition trip after Walt Disney World. If Animal Kingdom was your favorite park, then let's start talking about African safaris. Of course, there are lands there that are inspired by Africa and by Asia. There's tons of locations there. I do not specialize in Southeast Asia, so I really can't help you with an Asian vacation. I can connect you with someone who would do a much better job than I will. I do have some tour companies I work with on African safaris, but if you want to get really into that African experience and have more of an immersion cultural experience, then I have some people I can get you in touch with there. So let's start talking about your next trip. Schedule a call using the link below. Thank you so much. Remember to take a break from the busy.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.